How are you feeling this week?
Gassy.
Oh God, I hate that when he does that.
You hate fart jokes, you hate butt jokes, poop
I
jokes.
don't like crude. I'm a little Victorian that way.
She's a prude.
I'm not a prude. I don't like crudity.
Every now and then you'll say something very crude and it'll make us
very
laugh.
Happy.
I don't remember
I
though.
like crudity.
I know you do.
I like
honey.
crudité.
Yeah, oh.
I mean, it's very out of character, but every now and then you call somebody a cunt, and that's pretty funny.
I've never done that, Gideon. Well, yes, I
have heard that happen.
Yes, I have. But I don't like using that as a bad word,
No,
as
so
the
you
worst
also
thing in the
do it
world.
as like a positive.
Yeah,
You're
just
like,
really great thing.
That
What
was
a great
so
cunt.
great. You were such a cunt.
Yeah, right.
I mean, when you call me a cunt after I've done
No,
something,
really,
that
I
makes me
really, is it
proud.
really going to share this?
That's how we're sort of
No, do you remember that
collectively
time I
reclaiming
said
the
I
language.
challenged you, Gideon, to use female physiology as a positive? Like, I hate that the biggest compliment a woman can get is, wow, that took a lot of balls. Why is that the biggest compliment? So I challenged you to use women's physiology as something positive as opposed to negative. And one day I called you and I said, how are you? And you said, I'm trying to pussy up. And I was, what? And you said, I'm trying to use it positively. But it is interesting how hard that is.
I mean, doing this show with my parents takes a lot of pussy.
Yeah, really. Okay.
You notice what I'm doing?
I would like this to be absolutely not part of the conversation. I edit this out.
You edit this out.
Yeah.
This is great stuff.
It is not really.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's really no.
Dad's very proud that he's just abstaining from participating.
I know how to do this conversation.
I know.
What was the worst thing you guys ever heard your parents say growing up?
Hell's bells.
Who said that?
My mom. If she said hell's bells, we knew we were in serious trouble. The worst thing I ever heard them say.
Your dad would say that too?
No, my dad didn't have an expression like that. It was just my mom would say hell's bells if she was really pissed off.
And what about you, Dad?
I don't ever remember hearing them swear. I just know that the worst thing I could hear was Mandel Bruce.
Oh, getting that middle name in there.
Yeah, the whole name.
Oh, and not the last name.
No.
Just
Mandel Bruce, get in here.
Wow, that is
never heard that.
Scary just hearing that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
how
welcome
you,
to
Gid?
Don't
How are you?
Listen
You're always
to
asking
How are you,
us
Gid? How are you?
How am I?
Yeah.
Oh,
how
I'm
exhausted
fine.
are you?
You guys have never asked me that on this show.
How are you,
Yeah.
Gid?
Only took 10 episodes.
Oh,
Ask me
God.
how I'm doing.
Okay. Talk about the narcissism. Yes.
How are
Okay.
you? Yeah, how are you?
How am I?
Well,
How
I
are
don't
you?
like to
I don't
ask
wanna
you.
talk-
How are you, said
That's
narcissistic
why I don't
parents.
ask you anymore, because you don't like talking
How
about
are
it,
you,
so
said
I don't
Mr. and
ask.
Mrs. Narcissist.
Yeah.
I am doing well. I hadn't looked at the scale recently.
And you've done really well.
Yeah,
I
because
could
I've been
see
so
it.
busy and everything the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I've lost some weight. I'm trying to lose, the COVID 50. There's the freshman 15 and there's the COVID 50.
Yeah.
So
so you're doing well. It shows.
Yeah. But though I'm sharing that with you, that is not an invitation to make
ask how
comments
it's going
about
or
my
make
weight
comments.
or
I
my
know.
body. When
I
you see
noticed
me.
you brought Ryan
That's just-
a chocolate croissant, but not me. Was that a statement of some kind?
Yes. I thought.
Did you get
that
it at
might
Black Dot?
Kill you sooner, and it would give Ryan some energy. Ryan is our wonderful engineer extraordinaire behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But in the croissant community, we
Yes.
get very excited by a particular level of flakiness, particular
Yes.
level of butteriness.
Yes.
And
You always
it's
have chocolate in them?
not always.
No.
Not
What's your
always.
I like the almond
chocolate or not
croissants
chocolate?
best. The
It's
almond.
probably a good chocolate croissant.
The almond is almond paste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't drink coffee. I don't have croissants.
oh.
So I'm glad
You had
you're
a cup
happy.
of coffee a while ago when you were going to do some drive. You called us. You were like, "Guys, I just had a cup of coffee. I can't believe its effect on me." I mean, you were in your 70s discovering what coffee
And
does.
then I stopped maybe an hour and a half later enjoying my discovery of coffee because I had to pull over.
to get another cup.
No.
To use a facility.
find the
facility.
interstate facility to my liking,
It can do
and
that.
I didn't have time for a lot of choice.
I like the
can do
idea
that.
of adding a segment of us asking our son how he is and getting a little information, because you can't,
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
diss
can.
me in
Or, yeah.
public.
It's not dissing you.
Okay.
It's trying to establish some boundaries,
I know,
some parameters.
I know.
What are boundaries?
Well, that's,
Like a fence
that's for
for
our next
For a
episode.
Yeah.
horse?
Yes, it's a fence around your mind and your heart and your
Yeah.
well-being.
Yeah.
Listener question number 1 today. We've got an email, a little short email.
What's the fence
from
made of?
Allison. The fence of boundaries with families is made of reason, respect, and rational investment in everyone's future to survive each other.
Can like
together.
a chipmunk get through it? Or a squirrel?
Yes,
Thank you.
they can. This next listener question comes from Allison, and it's just a short one. Made me think of you guys. Mandy, Dad, whoever you are. Could you read that for us?
Hi, I'm Allison from Austin, Texas. I've been married 29 years, and my question is, what are things y'all love to do apart from each other? Oh, what are things y'all love to do apart from each other? And do you think it's important to have separate time hobby interests? Love y'all and appreciate your insight.
XO. She said XO.
XO.
What does that mean?
It's a hug
Kiss
and,
and a
kiss.
hug.
A hug and a, which
Thank
one's a
you,
hug? Which one's a
Allison.
kiss?
Kiss is
The
the X.
O is a
What,
hug.
my
the
God.
X is a kiss.
I wasn't
You're
paying
late to
attention to
think.
what it asked. I got to look at it again.
I think
What do you
it's
like to
really
do?
essential. I'm going to answer
It's a
this.
hard.
I'm looking at this, honey.
Four
I-
lines. I
Just
can't
keep
get it
reading
through.
it,
But
Dad.
I've
Keep
been
reading
married
it. Try a
29 years.
different
My question is,
accent.
what are things y'all love to do apart from each other?
And do you think it's
Oh,
important to have separate times, hobbies,
Oh,
interests?
we love to
Out-
do everything apart from each
Yeah,
other.
right. No, it's essential.
Yeah.
I think it's
We're
really
apart a lot.
essential.
We're apart a lot.
I mean, it's amazing how many things I enjoy, Allison, that my husband does not. People, dinners out, new people, old people. I think some couples find it threatening if they have different interests.
Yeah.
Because of this incorrect idea that you have to have everything in common.
Right.
And so I think it's really interesting if you have the freedom to just be whoever you are. I like driving to visit friends in different places, and exploring new towns nearby and just wandering around. And dad, my husband, Mandy, your dad, can't stand that. The idea of that is just really awful to him.
And you guys are in an unusual setup too, because you are often apart for work.
Yeah.
And I think that's not something everyone gets out there, but that is in the couples I've observed that have somehow managed to stay together,
Yeah.
a lot of them have had this
Magic
benefit, I
sauce.
think,
Yeah.
of time apart,
Yeah.
time separated.
Yeah.
And do you feel like
Dad-
that's been a big part of your
Dad misses me so much when he's not with me.
I think it's the magic sauce
Yeah.
of a relationship. I really do. Being separated, being apart.
Right.
Not separated like, now we're not married anymore.
Yeah.
No, just being apart.
Yeah.
She has to go to New York for a few days to do whatever she's doing, or I have to go away to do a concert, and the minute, because we just get tired of each other, we exhaust each other. We've heard it all 100,000 times. We just don't want to hear it again. We need a little space alone, but at the same time, we don't want to be alone. We want to have the other person in the other room. We want to take a walk. She goes ahead of me and listens to a podcast.
No, you go ahead of me. You're much more ahead of me.
I run a concert.
I was just going to say, we love hiking together, even though we go to the place
Yeah.
and then we hike separately. He does his thing. I do mine. I either talk to a friend or listen to a podcast.
Do you guys feel at this age you want new hobbies? Are you like, I kind of have this stuff I'm
I do.
into?
No,
and I'm
I
good
think
with
Dad
it.
really needs to.
I long for them. I
Yeah.
can't figure out what to do because I don't like to travel because I travel all the time.
I'm going to come up with
I think
5 new
woodworking.
hobbies for you
I just
that
thought
I
of
think would suit
woodworking.
your personhood.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bring them to you on the podcast and see if we can pick one for you to explore.
I just want to have time to do the thing I love, which is collaging, and I haven't had time.
What about trying to put a boat in a bottle while we're doing the podcast? Then I'd be busy doing that. I could shut up, and you and Mom could keep talking.
That sounds great.
Thank you. Thank you for asking that. And,
yes, who was that? Thank you, Allison.
Allison in Texas. And you're in the one city I just love in that state.
This show is sponsored by Ridwell. You already know recycling matters. That's why so many of you fill your curbside bin week after week. But did you know only about 21% of recyclable material is actually captured and recycled? Ridwell is changing that by making it possible to recycle more stuff your curbside bin doesn't take. Think about all those plastic bags, bubble wrap, plastic mailers piling up in the house. Ridwell recycles them through easy doorstep pickups or mail-in kits. Holy moly! Kathryn and I are actually going to receive our first Ridwell kit this weekend, and I'm excited about it. I really am. One of the biggest reasons more stuff isn't recycled is contamination. About 25% of the materials that go to recycling centers, they all end up in landfills. But the Ridwell deal puts these materials in their own bags so they stay clean and separated. After pickup or drop-off, you get a message, and it shows you where the stuff went and what it became. Your grocery bags might get turned into someone's new deck or a house, for God's sake. I have a personal connection to this. My grandfather was a scrap metal man. Started the business with a push cart and rags, picking up stuff in the early 1900s when he came to America. Now that business, which was called the scrap business, is called the recycling business. So this is bringing me home. We're very excited about adding such an easy, hopeful thing to our routines. If you want to try it, go to this, ridwell.com in small letters, / and now big letters, don't listen. One more time, it's ridwell.com in small letters, then / then in big letters, don't listen. You'll get $10 off your first pickup or mail-in kit. When you sign up, let them know Don't Listen to Us sent you. It's one small way to put your values into action. Thank you.
So, Mom, Dad, we're going to put our headphones on for this next one, and we are going to hear a voice message from Julia.
Okay, go.
Hi, Mandy and Kathryn. My name is Julia, and I'm currently a college student. I am majoring in anthropology and minoring in criminology with the goal of working in the forensics field. My question is this. As a woman in a fairly male-dominated field, I always have trouble balancing the empathy and the professionalism. I always want to show that I am just as capable as the men in my field, but I never want to come across as too intense or cold or anything of that nature. What's your advice for keeping that balance between being an assertive woman and one that knows their worth in the field and still keeping the compassion that comes with a field as delicate as forensics? Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Can I go first?
Sure.
Well, Julia, first of all, I don't give a damn what the expectations are out in the field of male-female differences. Just period, be yourself. 100% be yourself. Do what you need to do. Say what you need to say. That is the greatest gift you can give yourself, the world, and any colleague who's around you. And if you're going to try to emulate them or be like them, I think you're going several steps backwards. So please, please, please just find ways to be yourself. And the way I often recommend it to myself when the noise gets so loud in my head of everyone else's opinions or judgments, to find time to take a walk and see if I can listen to myself or quiet myself down so that there isn't so much noise in my head and I can just be quiet. And also, what my son Gideon has often preached to me is, Dad, you don't need to have the answer. You don't need to know. You can be lost. That's as active a thing to do as anything else. Sometimes being lost is the greatest gift in the world. So please just be yourself. And here's my beautiful wife to correct me.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say being lost. I wouldn't say being lost in forensics field is necessarily a good idea. Certainly, if you are perplexed by a situation, to have the freedom to say you don't know how to solve a situation would be great. But I think it's fascinating that you're majoring in anthropology and criminology. I'm so curious about how those impact each other in some ways. I just think you are an empathetic, intelligent person. You're getting expertise in your field, and I don't see any reason why your empathy can't be viewed as strength and as confidence and as a gift. And I wouldn't think of you needing to turn off empathy to be like the men in the room. They should use you as a model and have more empathy for whatever situation you find yourself in.
This kind of reminds me of what you see in movies and action movies, and that you get frustrated when you see, okay, great, now women are just like shooting everyone in the head. Is that progress? Does progress have to look like women doing the same sort of
horrible
bad behaviors as men? You say that you always want to show that you're just as capable as the men in your field, but never want to come across as too intense or cold or anything of that nature. I would say that's not your problem. That's men's problem if they have a hard time with smart women, powerful women, opinionated women. And these are questions that men do not ask themselves at a new job or in a field.
What's the question men don't ask?
Am I talking too much?
Am I being
coming
too
across
intense?
too strong?
I ask myself that all the time.
In most fields, men do not ask that, man. In most
you are
professions.
1 in a million.
Well, then I am, because did I say too much? Did I say the wrong thing? Did I talk too much? Did I not listen enough? Should I keep my mouth shut?
I know. Well, then we're talking about all the other men.
Yeah,
because this is a very common thing.
I don't think I'm 1 in a million. I think there are others like me.
No,
plenty.
There are, but I'm saying this is common thing. Women questioning themselves in the male-dominated workforce. Am I taking up too much space? I have female friends all the time apologizing for talking too much in conversation or thinking they've been rambling on too long.
Well, that's how I feel all the time.
And very few male friends.
I'm your father. I'm one.
Yeah, but it's also in these fields that are still fairly new for women to be in, the forensic field.
But but I think
even
Dad's
more
right.
important to take your space with all the gifts you have as yourself.
And let them adjust to you.
Yeah, and think of if they have problems, it's their problem, not yours.
And also, I say this from never having been in that kind of position and having to code switch and change your behavior to keep your job or be welcome in a space. Well, thank you so much.
So be yourself and don't.
From?
You sound like a really interesting,
Julia.
strong person.
You want me to be
Julia.
myself?
Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know how it goes once you get a job in forensics.
Yeah,
because we'd like to learn more about that too.
Can I say one other thing?
Yep, go ahead.
I think Julia. Also, I want to say forensics. I'm thinking about my. My friends at the behavioral analysis unit that I modeled the character of Gideon in Criminal Minds after, really gifted-minded people who did what my cousin, who is a landscape architect, taught me, which is I asked him, as I've said before, what's the most interesting thing you learned in landscape architecture? He said negative space. And I think when the forensic detectives figure out how to think out of the box, quiet the noise down, and stop listening to everything that everybody's shouting about, trying to figure out where the problem is or where the killer is or where they're hiding, that they then start to be lost. And it's in that lost space that possibility arises. So as you walk into the forensic world, what I learned when I had the privilege to being around these people is that the way they allowed their minds to marry themselves to worlds and professions and individuals, known or unknown, that were completely unfamiliar to them, and they found ways to walk in their shoes and then eventually say, "Hi, I've been looking for you." So that's all I want to say about that.
And before moving on from that, just one question for you, Mom, as the woman here at the table. Have you had an experience in the workforce where you were struggling with the balance of assertiveness and, empathy?
And being disappeared, or well, the theater it's a lucky thing because you have a lot more flexibility to be who you are, to be outrageous. But certainly there's a lot of rejection and a lot of assumptions. And actually I learned, my great friend Rosemary Tischler, who is a very beloved casting person and producer at the Public Theater, I would either do auditions where I'd nail it and get it, or I would be so horrible people would wonder how I ever got employed. And she once said to me, we're going to go through every audition at the Public Theater to see if there is something we can figure out about this. And it was very clear. I got jobs with people I talked to first, even if it was 5 minutes. I couldn't that's why I've only had one Broadway job in my life, because in Broadway, you just walk into a black hole, somebody's at the back of the theater, turn to page 27, and I'm like, screw you, I don't even know who you are, I don't even know if I want to work with you,
gotta
goodbye.
buy me lunch first.
Yeah, and the only Broadway show that didn't happen was with this great English director, Frank Dunlop. When I first came to New York, he was doing Scapino, and he had me sit down and talk to him for 20 minutes. So I certainly have had the discomfort of being in a professional situation that a lot of people, Diane, we said to me, you want to talk to them? It was just like horrible to her. That's the closest thing I can. I've had a lot of encouragement to share my opinion and be myself and not worry about getting fired.
Thank you. Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
Thank you. I take all the credit for that.
I did work with a director once who drove me nuts, and I decided to quit. He wanted to fire me, and Joe Papp said, if you're having a problem with Kathryn, it's your problem. I said, it's okay, Joe. I want to quit.
Nice.
So
nice. Love that.
It's a different
Is this
situation.
Yeah, it is. Let's go to our next listener question from Emily. This is a voice note, so we got our headphones in.
Oh, I didn't bring my paper.
Okay, we're going to hear from Emily, who's 26 years old.
Hi, Mandy and Kathryn. I love y'all. So I just reconnected with this guy from high school. Funny enough, in my senior year, I played Eva Perón and he played Jay in that little show, Anyway, he was in a relationship from high school for 6 years, and they broke up a year ago, and we just started seeing each other, and I really like him, and he really likes me, and we both want to be together, but he's not sure that he's ready for another relationship, and I was just wondering, how long do you think it takes the heart to heal from a relationship that wasn't so good and maybe lasted longer than it should, and how long would you wait around for someone who's in that position like that? I'm not sure what to do because I really like him and I really want to be with him, but I also don't want to make him feel like he's pressured to be anything with me or labels, stuff like that. I really hope that you can give me some advice. Eek. All right. Bye.
Well, how long would you wait for someone? That's kind of what Emily's trying to figure out. Like, how long is it appropriate to wait and give space? What would you say? At 26, how long do you wait?
Well, you've got all the time in the world. I would...
If I thought you were the person for me?
Yeah.
How long would I wait for the person that my instinct and body feels is the right person for me?
Or a right person.
And I thought there was any possibility that person might be free in their heart to one day say hello to me?
Yeah.
I'd wait a lifetime.
So if you were 26 and you loved this other person, but they weren't ready, and you thought you could have a good relationship with them and that they were maybe the one for you, you would wait possibly until you're in your 80s?
Look, I think it's ridiculous out of billions of people in the world that there's only one person that's appropriate for you to be paired with.
Many soulmates.
If you are lucky enough to feel that's something that you can't put words to, no matter how or any way that came about, for whatever obstacles are in its place, and you can't bring it to fruition at that moment, I would wait as long as you can wait. You'll know if you can keep waiting or not. You'll know if there's any glimmer of possibility in that other individual's life or feelings or whatever you're sensing or not.
Or
And
if it's time to move on to the next soulmate.
yes,
Yeah.
you'll know. It's part of what I'm saying. You'll know. And so it's like, my mother said to me when I was a little boy, we were watching a black and white movie of a couple walking up these steps of a kind of Washington building, like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and they were talking about love and a relationship. I was a little kid. I didn't know what they were saying. I said to Mom, what are they talking about? Because he said something, she said something to me about, he's saying, don't worry, you'll know about when you fall in love. And I said, what does that mean? And she said, you don't need to know what it means right now. You'll know. And I never forgot that because she wouldn't answer the question. But I heard what she was saying as a child. And I just think whoever the you are is out there, me, Mom, you, anyone listening, we all will know when we have more possibility to be patient and wait and hope and look for the possibility, or when we've exhausted it. We all know the clock is ticking. We all know we're not here forever. We all know life is to be lived now in this moment. Don't waste it. You don't get a second chance. You get
But I think
this chance.
I think it's very significant, Gid, when you talk about many soulmates.
Wait, I got to interrupt. I said one thing. I just have to correct it. When I said you don't get a second chance, you get infinity chances. You get infinity chances. You know what I mean. I'm not going to explain it. Go
Mom,
ahead.
what were you going to say?
I think the idea that there's only one significant person. Some people are very lucky. They find the person they want to share life with. Right away, they have a great 60 years, 80, 70 years, whatever, and it works for them. Some people find that person and it works for 40 years and something happens. A partner dies or they
Or it
become...
works for 5 years.
Or it works for 5
and
years.
you had some great
and
times
you had
in
some
that
great, exactly.
experience.
I think different people need different kinds of relationships. Some people need the security of a very long-term one. Some people need to experiment. And it depends on who you grow to be. So I think the myth of finding that one person is not a very helpful thing. It's like we can't believe in some cultures people have, 5 wives. I love the idea of hearing about an Amazon tribe that had 6 husbands, because that was a whole different...
You want that?
I don't want that at this point. I just think somebody's been in a relationship for 6 years. And a year ago, that's not very long to recover, to refigure who you are. And I think, Emily, you just need to be patient with this person and yourself and not insist on an assumption at this point. You're just getting to know each other. You knew each other a long time ago. You had a great time in a play. Just be a little casual about the expectation and see who you are now and where it goes.
Love that. Got one more listener question here. This is an email. And I like this one. Oh, yeah, this is for you to read. This is from Anne-Marie.
Okay. Dear Mandy and Kathryn, it was Valentine's Day and I was in college in the late 90s and on a date. My date had made me a fancy dinner in his dorm room. We were seated on the floor with a makeshift table and candles. My date started to open up a bottle of Kendall Jackson wine, and in reference to the wine said, "My dad always said to go first class." In my head, I asked myself, what is something my dad always said? And then it came to me. My dad always said, shake the mustard before you squeeze. Thank you for hearing the story about my dad. He passed away a year ago. He was one of my most favorite people. Love this project idea. Sincerely, Anne-Marie.
So what was something your mom and dad always used to say?
My dad used to say, how am I doing? Or my mother found that book, one of the first transactional therapy books by Pearls, I think, called I'm Okay, You're Okay. So she made my dad read that, and he used to go down the hallway saying, I'm okay, you're okay. It's so funny. I don't remember like a particular expression from my mom.
Do you have recordings of their voices?
I don't think so, Gid, except that one little thing of my dad walking our dog. Because the technology didn't exist.
There's no sound with that. in the backyard?
In the backyard,
No,
there's
there's
no
no
sound.
sound.
No.
Oh, just a video.
But I love that you
The
have
dog's name was Rocky.
Rocky.
Shake the mustard before you squeeze. I just think
I couldn't agree more. That's the best advice I've ever heard.
And I hope
I'm
you-
glad we've done this podcast just for that reminder.
I hope
what
you
do you
share
guys
that
think,
date.
If I'm remembering you long after you've gone, what do you think will be the sayings in my head that
Oh
my
my
mom and
God.
dad
Remember to
always...
wash under your penis.
No. Oh my God!
That's what I
Mine will
remember
be,
my father used to
How
say.
are you?
Right, that
Right?
was
And
that
I
was
said it all the
Grandpa's
time when
How are
guys
you
were little.
feeling?
Yeah.
Did you have a good time? Oh, I know I'm not supposed to ask that. What shoes can I get for you?
These are your
Can I-
classic sayings?
No, I don't know what my classic
No,
sayings
that
are. Do you?
is what dads want to be.
Oh, my God.
Don't forget to wash under your penis. That's what he says. I mean, you said it when we were little, and then it became a joke. And now, if we're going on a trip,
Oh my
or
God.
somewhere,
Yeah, I don't care what age you are.
Yeah, you say don't forget to
I
wash under
don't
your
know
penis.
of any
Do you say it to
particular-
women too? I feel like you say that to
Oh my
everybody.
God!
I
Gideon.
don't say it to women. I've not said it to women. But it's
What?
not a bad thing.
But I hope you shared that with the guy that you were having a date with in college, and I hope he responded well to it.
What do you remember your
Look
mom?
at that rain coming down
Oh yeah,
that window.
it is.
Isn't that
It
gorgeous?
is pouring. Do you remember anything that your mom said that was like a consistent saying or something that she would say?
Yeah, but it was a negative thing.
Oh, really?
That comes to me. I'm trying to think of a positive thing. Well, look, my folks, I don't care what negative things my mom said. It's the positive action that she took that led to my gift that I was given by my parents to have the life I wanted to lead, and not the life that their friends or relative expected them as parents to insist that their son had.
Go
A certain kind of education, go into junk business,
Go to college.
certain kind of business background and education. How dare they?
Yeah.
You know, a very influential person in the synagogue who I loved. Their daughters were friends of mine. My mom was friends with the wife, and my dad was friends with the husband. Wrote many long letters to my folks. How dare they let Mandy go into show business? This is irresponsible as a parent.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. You need to prepare him for the world in a proper way. And my parents stood up to this most powerful man in the community and decided to follow their child's instincts and love and passion.
How old were you at that
This is when
time?
I was 15, 16, getting ready to go to school. And I chose the arts. I wanted to go to a school. I wanted to go away to college. I wanted to go to a school and study the arts and learn to be an actor. And their community was highly against it. Many, I didn't, not everybody, but certainly the ones with power. That I have these letters. They're amazing letters that my father was very quiet. My mother not so much, but that they were not shaken by this influential, powerful individual in their community. And you know what? You know what it reminds me of? Don't be shaken by powerful, rich, oligarchical individuals, whether they're kind or not kind. Don't be shaken by money and power.
Yeah.
Listen to your heart, what you believe, your inner truth, the truth of those you love and care about, and follow
Why do I
your
feel like I'm in trouble
heart.
right now?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
really.
I'm
Exactly.
shouting to the world that
Shouting.
do not be intimidated by the world we are experiencing around us. How a lack of kindness, human kindness to our fellow human beings is spreading far too far every minute, every day, and that we need to up the kindness factor and up the empathy factor and lessen the hate and start the listening and the love. I always say in my prayers every day, stop the hatred, the killing, and the violence, start the loving, the compassion, the forgiveness, and the understanding within ourselves, and to each other. And I please ask myself to do it and ask anybody who can hear me to try to fight for that and not what's happening in too many corners of the world to so many vulnerable people.
I think my dad said, "March to your own drum. March to your own drum." They were very, very supportive of not going with the herd. And that's what I tried to teach my children, to not be cowed by what was necessarily the popular, the in thing, whatever, unless you agreed with it or unless it spoke to you.
Yeah, I mean, I took that to heart, such that in high school, the cool thing was having friends and hanging out with people. And I was like, I'm marching to the beat of my own drum. I don't have any friends, and I'm spending a lot of time alone. So that was good.
I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that, honey. I thought you were friends with a lot of people.
Look at that rain.
This rain is amazing.
Really serious.
I remember.
You thought I was friends with a lot of people?
I did think you had friends.
No, people thought I was like, some people thought I was like cool and mysterious because I had a modicum of confidence and was friendly with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I didn't really hang out with a lot of folks because a little bit sort of snobby,
judgment that I taught
I kind
you.
of thought all these high schoolers are idiots.
Yeah.
I think it's in part because I was exposed to a lot of your guys' friends
Yeah.
who were like adults and
Yeah.
artists who
Yeah.
lived interesting lives, and they had crazy stories and they were funny
Yeah.
and had experiences. And then high schoolers were like smoking weed
Well,
and
that-
drinking and partying.
That was like Isaac, when I got in trouble when he was like 4 years old, the nursery teacher brought me in and said that I was preventing him from being part of his culture, because if he went to a Broadway show and went to Orso afterwards, the sandbox and grape juice might not be so interesting at nursery school.
Wow,
and
that is the most
also when
New York centric.
and also when
crazy.
he wanted to work, all 4 years of high school, he wanted to work at a daycare center. And I was sort of like, well, don't you want to, be friends and make friends with guys your own age? And I remember him saying, Mom, guys my own age are mostly jerks. I really love taking care of kids.
Yeah.
These people are really interesting, and I'm making money. What is your problem?
I'm going to say something. Forgive me. God bless my mother's soul in heaven. But I'm going to say something that she said to me, which was the polar opposite of,
Wait, you
remember
think
to-
your mother's soul is in heaven? We just talked about heaven the other day, and you thought
I don't know
He's
what
just
she-
feeling
she-
guilty because he's going to say something.
No, I want to say something. So I
critical.
want to just say I love my mother, but I learned a lot from this mistake in my belief that my mother made.
Yeah.
It's not the thing like shake the mustard, but it's the opposite of what she said
Yeah.
that you need to remember. And I remember this, and Kathryn, you'll remember it too. I was coming home from the new performers audition in Chicago, an NBC Chicagoland talent search for high school kids. And there were 1,000 kids, and I got picked with 24 other kids to be in this little Chicago musical thing that they did, and it was a big deal to me that I got picked, and I was in the car on the outer drive driving home back to the south side of Chicago, and she picked me up. I didn't drive yet, and she said, "I just worry that you get too much too soon. I just worry that too much too soon is being given to you." And I remember that like a stab in my heart. I was so excited, and I thought, what are you talking about? And I didn't say anything to her. I thought, right, this was bad that I got picked. This was bad that I got picked to be in this thing. And then one day we're watching the Academy Awards, and Jodie Foster, was it Jodie Foster?
Yeah.
She got up and she won an award, and she thanked her mother for making every fingerprint painting that she ever made
Be a Picasso.
be a Picasso. And I lost it.
I mean, that was part of Dad's empty space that just can't be filled, no matter how
a lot of
appreciated.
artists have
And
A lot
that
of
may
artists.
be the gift that she gave me at the same
Right.
time. Because that black hole of empty space is maybe why I work so hard.
Right.
And I need so much to make that part work, make that story be told the best I can to connect to the listener.
a gift and a curse, because
Yeah.
you,
All in the
you
same.
can't. There's no.
You can't
there's-
get one without the other.
Or I mean, it's a gift and a curse because you try to fill that hole, and even when you do the best thing and you're celebrated for
doesn't.
it and everything, how long does that feeling last?
Doesn't.
You
It
know?
doesn't last.
And I don't think I
You
do
can't fix
think
it.
I do think it's a myth that to make art and to be a performer you have to be tortured in this kind of way.
Yeah.
to
It is a
unfill-
myth.
A lot of people have that. It's not everyone.
Not true. You don't need it.
And I think, the degree to which we repeat certain harmful things our parents have given us or do the opposite.
Yeah.
That we repeat or go the opposite way is
Yeah.
really, fascinating. And I think when people are able to see a hurtful thing or hurtful moment and harness it as an example of what not to repeat or to do something
Yeah.
different is a real is a real gift, you know.
Yeah.
So I love that you can look back on that incredibly painful moment and say, this can be a lesson.
Wow, hold on.
Lost power.
We just lost it. It'll come on when the generator comes on. Wait a minute.
What did that mean?
The lights are still on.
But we lost internet.
You think the gods got mad and my mother is what made that happen?
Yeah.
No. Hey everyone, we are in the middle of a rainstorm. The power went out as we were recording, but now we're back. Guys, for this last little part today in our hang time, have you ever listened to the BBC series Desert Island Discs?
Yeah.
I've been on it.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. It's if you were on a desert island where
my
you
God.
had a record player or a CD player or something, ability to play a song. They do 3 songs, but today I just want to know if you could only choose one song that you'd get to listen to over and over again until the end of your days on a desert island. What song would you choose?
Why do we only
And
get
why?
one song? That
All right,
would
you
be
get
so
2.
horrible.
I'll allow you 2. 2 songs. And this is, remember, you're gonna spend a lot of time with this. You're gonna return to it again and again. I mean, Dad, if you did that program, that might have been a different answer back then
It is a different answer.
when it is now.
Oh, God, it's so pathetic.
Are you
mean,
just
first-
trying to think of any song?
No, well, the first thing that just hit me was a song that just kills me because when I first learned it, I believed it, and here we are, which is "We Shall Overcome." You know,
Well, that would be interesting on a desert
on
island.
a desert
alone.
island to hear that
You'd
constantly.
be overcoming your.
And then I was gonna do.
You remember hearing that song for the first time? "We Shall Overcome."
Yeah, I do remember. I was at a civil rights march, and we were all dressed up so they wouldn't dismiss us as hippies, and we were all holding hands, and everybody was singing that song and crying because we really believed we were on the brink of overcoming. And I guess you just have to overcome again and again. And then I was just going to go, you know, Dad singing children art, but that would make me sad if I was on an island and there were no children there.
So, what song do you think would get you through the experience of being on a desert island? What would keep your
Joni
spirits
Mitchell's
up?
Blue.
Joni Mitchell's Blue. That's a real upper.
Yeah, I'll tell you what comes to me. There was a recording you made around a dinner table at a restaurant with the family, with you and Uncle Mike, and I believe Mom and I were there.
Yes.
And it was
On his birthday.
it was an
Yeah.
amazing thing, and I love that recording. And I think you also made another recording when we were walking across the lawn talking to Mom, and we were kidding around with Mom, and she started. It was about
Volleyball.
volleyball, and
The
she
origins of volleyball.
yeah, and she
Florence
was
Heschel.
Florence Heschel, and then this was whole discussion that Mom made up out of her
Which I
head while we
couldn't
were
do
walking.
now, which
we were walking her
terrifies
to
me.
the theater. She was doing a play,
Yeah.
and we were walking. We're having this guy, and she starts talking about Florence Heschel that she made up, who the origins of volleyball,
Yeah, the inventor of volleyball.
and then you morphed it into
A different story.
A different story. And those are my favorite things
Yes.
that are recorded
I'm
in
so
some
terrified
form.
'cause I don't think I
I
could-
have them on my phone.
Yeah.
I
actually.
listened to that the other day, and I thought it was pretty damn good, and I don't think my mind would do that today, so I'm a little
Oh,
bit
it
terrified.
would do it in space.
But I have enjoyed doing that, capturing little family moments.
Yes.
I mean, long before
Yes.
social media and everything.
It's your way of
capturing
not
little
having
things
people die,
and
kid.
then messing with them. Yes, it's
Yeah.
it's my
Anti-death.
inability to confront our mortality.
Yes.
But also, it's for my own entertainment because
Yeah,
I
well,
do
it's pretty
find you
good.
guys entertaining. Do you guys find it satisfying that all these people are asking you for advice when your children would never ask you for advice?
Well, not only would they
That
not
kind of
ask us, if we accidentally mention
Gave
something that
advice.
is in that area,
Yeah.
we get smacked.
It just proves my
metaphorically.
theory that human beings are the stupidest species on the planet.
Yeah.
How so?
They're asking us for advice.
Oh,
That's
yeah, yeah.
how.
It's really.
Well, on that note, folks, thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in to
Don't listen to us, and really don't listen to us, particularly today.
Mom, you say that every week.
Really? Do I?
Something
Oh,
like
well,
that.
no. I don't think so.
See you next week.
Bye.
Don't Listen to Us is a Lemonada Media original, hosted by Mandy Patinkin, Kathryn Grody, and Gideon Grody Patinkin. Created by Katrina Onstad, Debbie Pacheco, and Gideon Grody Patinkin. Executive producers are Kathryn Grody, Gideon Grody Patinkin, Mandy Patinkin, Katrina Onstad, Debbie Pacheco, Jessica Cordova Kramer, and Stephanie Whittles Wax. Our engineer is Ryan Derringer of Welterweight Sound. Video and audio production by Mark Whiteway of Bellows Media. If you haven't subscribed to Lemonada Media Premium yet, now's the perfect time. You can hear Don't Listen to Us completely ad-free. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive bonus content like behind-the-scenes conversations, questions so weird they didn't make it on air, Becky the Dog shenanigans, and more. Just tap the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, head to lemonadapremium.com to subscribe on any other app, or listen ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership. That's lemonadapremium.com. Don't miss out.